What's going on, YouTube, fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, definitely share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Let's get right into the story. When we get into a relationship, the last thing on our minds is this person will bring grief and pain into my life. We always hope for the best. And once you fall in love, it can go a lot of different ways. You could find your soulmate, finally get ready to settle down and jump that broom. Or you could have core feelings for someone whose intentions were not pure from the first place. And it definitely shows once they feel they got you. For some, it's hard to shake that person. In many situations, men and women feel like if you are my girl or my man, that's what it is. You are mine. Like it comes with some kind of ownership. A lot of relationships like that turn out to be very toxic because no one wants to be treated like property. And if you are smart, you would definitely walk away from something like that. Some breakups go smooth and others not so well. A person that is not ready to let go can build an unhealthy obsession with the other party who is done with the situation. Usually time heals all, and even a crazy ex will get tired of chasing you and move on. But we never imagine a person we dealt with years ago in a chapter of our life that's closed and long gone. That individual will reappear, not only to bring back old wounds from a toxic relationship, but to get some kind of revenge or payback for whatever pain they think they felt. Not only putting you in danger, but your loved ones as well. Holding on to so much hate and anger that the outcome could only be bad. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it to Chicago, Illinois to discuss the recent tragic case of an 11-year-old boy gone after trying to protect his pregnant mother from her ex-boyfriend after he came home from prison. Let's take it back years ago to the early 2000s. A man named Crosetti Brand and a young lady who we will call Crystal for her privacy was in a relationship. Like most relationships, everything started all smooth, but Crosetti got possessive of Crystal, and when she tried to end a relationship, he started displaying stalker-like behavior, popping up at the young lady's home, threatening her and her family, to the point she got a protective order on the man. Crosetti being the type to not really care about none of that wouldn't stop him from contacting Crystal and still making threats. As fate would have it, Crosetti would be arrested in the early 2000s on home invasion, assault charges, and sentenced to 16 years in prison. Before his arrest, the man had multiple protective orders against him put out not only by Crystal, but other people as well. Feeling like she dodged a bullet, Crystal moved on with her life, had kids, and by 2023, she was in a good place, living in a nice apartment complex, finding love again, now having a fiance, 2 sons, 5 years old and 11 years old, and a mother, now 33 years old, was now 8 months pregnant. It seemed Crystal finally had the life she always wanted. Described by the community as a hardworking woman who definitely loved her kids, Crystal had dedicated herself to her family. Her 11-year-old son, Jayden Perkins, wasn't a typical young man. Jayden, being wise for his years, was described as sweet, loving, caring, and a peacemaker, always stopping his friends from fighting or other kids in the neighborhood. Jayden kept busy with sports, spending time with his family, but his main thing was dancing and performing, in which at the school, he attended a dance company that focused on all kinds of genres and cultures. Jayden was a natural and always performed well. Crystal attempted to keep him active and away from the Chicago streets and gangs, and the mother was doing a very good job. Far removed from her past, she still had alerts set up from the courts that would let her know if or when Crosetti would be released from prison. And in October of 2023, now 37 years old, after serving his sentence, the man came home. Crosetti was on home monitoring. You would think after serving all that time, his mindset would be different. But for whatever reasons, The man had one thing in his mind: interrupting Crystal's happy life she had made for herself. While on the box, Crosetti got Crystal's number and would text her, threatening text messages saying he would shoot her or come to her home. Scared and knowing how Crosetti moved, Crystal attempted to go to the courthouse to get a new protective order, but it was denied. Once off the box, Crosetti upped the stakes by coming to Crystal's home and attempting to break in while making threats. This would be enough for the man to violate his parole and be sent back to prison. In February of this year, Crystal revisited the courts while he was in custody to see now could her protective order be granted. The judge told her they would schedule a hearing for March 13th, and they would email Statesville where Crosetti was being housed at on his violation and let them know he had an up-and-coming court date on the 13th. But in a mistake and careless act that would turn fatal, Crosetti's parole was reinstated, and he was granted release on March 12th, one day before the hearing. The next morning, Jayden got up and started getting ready for school, where he attended Helen C. Pierce School of International Studies. He was in 6th grade. His little brother also was getting ready, and Crystal was preparing for her day and getting ready to drop the kids off. About 7:30 a.m., things took a turn when Crystal cracked her door to leave out. Unaware, Crosetti was waiting outside in a cut with a knife. He took the opportunity to force his way inside the home. He upped the knife, telling Crystal, "I told you I would get you," before then launching an attack on the mother, who was 8 months pregnant at the time, slicing her multiple times before Jayden intervened to protect his mother and to help. Seconds later, the 11-year-old was also sliced, stabbed in the chest. Crosetti then fled the scene. Still alert, Crystal was able to call for help. CPD responded to the 5900 block of North Ravenswood Avenue to find Crystal and Jayden both suffering from cut wounds. They were both rushed to local hospitals. Crystal would remain in serious but stable condition, and the baby was unharmed. Also, her other son was unharmed as well. But unfortunately, Jayden would not survive the attack. CPD already had leads on who might be responsible, as CTA train surveillance showed the man getting off in the same location moments before the attack, and cameras in the area saw a man running with a knife not long after the attack. Just a few hours after the incident, Crosetti was picked up, taken into custody, charged with first-degree hit, attempt, home invasion, and other charges. As the community got the news of Jayden, everyone was heartbroken. The 11-year-old, who was a peacemaker and who loved to perform and make people happy, lost his life trying to protect his mother. A vigil was held where the community attended and people from Jayden's school and dance classes. It was an outpour of support, but also sadness, as everyone remembered the young man who was so full of life. As Crystal and the baby were fighting, she remained in stable condition, and support fund was started for the family, and over $150,000 was raised. But a big question remained unsolved. How was Crosetti even back on the streets in the first place, especially when the judge let it be known he was to be held until the court date on March 13th. That was the same day of the incident. It seemed the man had launched the attack after being released just one day prior. The parole board was contacted, in which at first they denied ever receiving an email and stated they had no reason to believe Crosetti to be a threat to society. But after digging deeper, news outlets was able to confirm they did indeed get the email, and the board was aware Crosetti had previously threatened Crystal multiple times, even since his release. So someone had to drop the ball. After being put on blast, 2 members of the board resigned, and the state admitted it was a fatal mistake, even denying Crystal's first request. As of now, Crosetti is being held with no bail, and he is innocent until proven otherwise. Rest in peace to Jayden. I send my deepest prayers and condolences to the family and definitely his mother. I hope her and the baby gets well soon. It was stated Crystal and Crosetti had a relationship over 15 years ago. It was clearly long over, even before he went to prison. I don't know why he held a grudge against the young lady for all these years, but to attack her in front of her kids is a different kind of sucker move. And to do that to an 11-year-old boy is cowardly. Even though Jayden's life was cut short, In one last act and being a shining light before leaving Earth, he protected his mother and siblings and probably saved her life. I'ma leave this one open for discussion. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation in the comments. And remember, we gotta succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, rest in peace to Jayden. Like I said, I definitely send my prayers to his family. Hopefully his mother gets well soon. I want Shorty to know she ain't do nothing wrong. There's nothing you can really do about a situation like that. She did everything she was supposed to do. But yeah, I'm going to leave this one open like I said. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. This is another episode of Hood Tales. This your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.